Rumor had it that this camera might overheat, but I wasn't about to let that stop me. I wanted to see the Z8 could handle the scorching temperatures and capture some amazing bird moments at the Sultanpur Bird Sanctuary in North India, in Delhi, near Delhi. Little did I know that amidst all the camera testing, I'd also stumble upon a heartwarming encounter with some feisty avian parents. The challenge was that it was hot. It is hot. Okay, it is 8:30 in the morning. By the time I sort of reached the Sultanpur Bird Sanctuary, it is already around 37 degrees. Okay, and I think it was feeling like almost 40 degrees. But when I checked, it was about 37 degrees. And when I left after 2 hours, it was close to 38, 39 degrees. Okay, so that was the context and that was the challenge. The temperatures were high. Okay, but then what's a better way to actually check how the Z8 really performs? Because in a controlled testing environment, you are compromising on a lot of parameters. But in the real world, your focus is to immerse in the experience. Your focus is to get the shot, get the video. That's what you're out to get there, right? So then you don't want to sort of test the camera to failure or baby the camera because you know what, you want to protect it from failure. You're not thinking of any of those things, and as life unfolds in front of you, you can't do that, right? So the real world is where the test is. So that's the really right way of understanding how good this camera is or how bad this camera is. I wanted to see if this camera could actually handle shooting demanding 4K 120p video, snapping raw, compressed raw and JPEG star on the fly and keeping it cool literally in the process. I took more than 1,000 shots, mind you, more than 1,000 shots in compressed raw plus JPEG star, and about 45 minutes of 10-bit photo to 4K 120p video in H.265. So if we look at the cards and the gear, to make sure I had all the firepower I needed, I grabbed the recommended pro grade 650 GB CF Express card exclusively for my video storage needs. Trust me, this card had storage for days. I mean, not days, I would say it showed me about more than 2 hours of shooting space for that mode, 4K 120p and H.265 10-bit 422. Now, I didn't worry about running out of space really. And for stills, I had the Pro Grade 120 GB V90 card, which is again very fast, reliable. And if I ever wanted to sort of shoot a little bit of video on that card, I could do so because it's a V90 card. The heat wave for a solid 2 hours, between 8:30 and 10:30 a.m. I won't call it heat wave because in North India during summers, this is normal, okay? Uh, just the general environment is that it's very hot, but that didn't stop me from immersing myself in the glorious world of birds and whatever was going around me, capturing the stunning antics on the camera. And honestly, I actually had never doubted for a moment that the Z8 would run into any sort of troubles. What about the results? The result is that the Z8 handled the heat like a pro. It wasn't until 45 minutes into my shooting, and at that point, I was actually shooting stills. Okay, I was actually shooting stills at a rapid 8 frames per second. I didn't think I'd need 20 frames per second. At 10 frames per second, I was shooting, and then I got a cheeky hot card warning. But remember, I was using the V90 ProGrade HD to SD to record images, and the hot card warning happened when I was actually shooting images. So the compressed raw files are big, and then when you're shooting at 8 or 10 or 20 frames per second, that can overwork the the cards. So I think if you're using an SD card, I think 10 FPS is if you're shooting for a long time, I think 10 FPS is safe. If you really need to shoot at 20 FPS, I would say, you know, use the Safe Express slot to record your images as well, especially in compressed RAW, which is a slightly higher file than high efficiency star. Now, I did not use a CF Express card for shooting pictures because I wanted all that space dedicated to video shooting, and I didn't want to disturb that space because one of the things I want to check is to see how long can I shoot. And you know what? That was not really an appropriate test because I realized in real world I wanted to uh, also slow down the action, right? Slow down the action when I finally have the video. So I wanted to shoot at high frames per second, and I realized that 45 minutes of 4K 120 is a lot of video footage, man. It's a lot of video footage. Okay, now back to the warning signals. It wasn't until 1 hour mark that a moderate heat warming for the camera propped up on the screen. Now I had XD card hot warning before and hot camera warning now, but had my camera also set to high temperature mode anyway. So no interruptions, no overheating related hiccups. I mean, there was overheating icons on my screen, on my camera screen, but there was no hiccup really. There's no performance loss, just pure uninterrupted pleasure photography. To be honest, I didn't even bothered to stop and take a screenshot of the warnings. I don't have one. I just know it happened at 45 minutes or so. About 1 hour, when the camera got the hot camera warning, yellow hot camera warning, and about 45 minutes when it had showed me the hot card warning for the SD card. Now, because I didn't care, because I knew that this camera is built to handle all this. Okay, I was so immersed anyway with what was happening around me that honestly I could not care less about the camera at that point. A kind of magical moment unfolded in front of me. As I was clicking away, I unwittingly got a bit too close to a bird family, and oh boy, did they let me know. The mom and dad birds started chopping at me and squawking at me, giving me a proper scolding. In fact, it almost felt like as if they're talking to me. And there's a guy from the bird sanctuary. This is my first time shooting birds. So there's someone who's experienced, and I asked him, are these guys trying to talk to me? It looked like they came towards me. Okay, they came very close to me. Birds don't come so close to you. And I was pointing at them, shooting and taking pictures because, hey, he's so close. But it almost felt as if he was scolding me. Okay, he was like flapping his wings but not flying away. He was flapping. It's like asking me to shoot, go away. It was so, I mean, I have to say it was so cute, and to also at some level it was so emotional to see their protective instincts kick in, and that was in full display. It was a very, very beautiful thing to actually experience. I couldn't help but smile and appreciate the beauty of nature's guardians. I did not think about the Z8 overheating at that time. I couldn't, right? I did not want to think about it. I did not have to carry a fan, though. I did not have to carry a fan or keep the doors open or the car doors open or not use autofocus in order to baby the camera. I did none of those things. The camera just, because you see, at that moment, I was shooting videos, I was shooting pictures. Okay? I was not worried about the camera. None of those things were running through my mind. The Nikon Z8 stood strong in the face of scorching Indian summers, capturing 1,000 and more beautiful shots without letting anything ruin the party. Of course, I mean, it is my bad that I have only 10, 12 pictures to good that pictures I am happy with to show you. But I guess as I spend more time, as I understand the timing better, I understand angles better, right, and I understand birds and animals behaviors better, I'll take better pictures. So that's all in time. We took the camera out in the scorching India summer, guys, and it is the test, that real world test, if you want to call it a test, with flying colors. Real world usage is where the camera truly proved to me at least its metal. And I'm going to shoot more this week. And the Z8 did not disappoint. Of course, I will do more shooting this week and I'll keep updating you about the experiences. Sure, we got a little hot card warning after some intense burst of still shots on the SD card, but I find that there are natural breaks during shooting that occur anyway in any shooting scenario. But so that gives the camera those in between 1 minute, 30-second, 15-second breaks, and that's enough for the camera to sort of get back to its normal, not normal heat scenario inside the body. But you know what truly stole the show? It was that unexpected encounter with the protective bird parents. They weren't too thrilled with us getting too close to their adorable little chicks, and they made sure we knew it, chirping, squawking, and giving us a proper scolding. It was a magical moment, a reminder that sometimes the best shots aren't just the ones that you can capture in the camera, but the ones that are etched in our memories for a long time. So the Nikon Z8 is a camera that's built to withstand the toughest conditions, honestly, and capture the most breathtaking shots if you're up to it, and keep you company on countless photographic and filmic escapades and adventures. It's time for me to plan my next adventure, the Z8. I'm waiting for Nikon to give me the promised, not so promised honestly, but demanded 400 2.8 Z. But in the meantime, I'll probably get the 500 PF and see how that works with the Z8. I'm so excited for this weekend. So subscribe and stay tuned, and because there's a lot more of excitement for me to share with you as we uncover the limitless possibilities of the Nikon Z8. Subscribe, it takes nothing. I'm going to see you soon with another one.